So I want to straight up say, if Charlie Kirk was the thing that you were like, damn, shit's crazy. This ain't the place I recognize. You have not been paying attention at all. Like, just straight up.
Charlie Kirk was not a healthcare CEO. He was not a powerful politician. And let me be 100% clear, I'm not saying this to say that it's okay when those people are murdered. My point is that those are positions of power that most people cannot relate to.
He literally was a politically relevant figure. He literally had a massively astroturfed movement behind him. He was a political figure. He wasn't elected. He was a political figure. The idea of saying, like, he was just like a regular dude is fucking crazy to me.
But I think what happened to Charlie is hitting differently because, like I said on Twitter, he was just a fucking guy. He was a fucking podcaster. He was a guy who talked about politics.
He wasn't just a guy
who had conservative beliefs.
This is the most disingenuous, bad faith way I've ever seen somebody being like try and make something about themselves and the crash out they had on Twitter. He was not. If there is anything, and this is how I know she's either being A, incredibly disingenuous, or B, willfully ignorant, is because there has been a veritable treasure trove of every shitheel thing Charlie Kirk said, lived by, and died by, coming across Twitter for a week now. Everything from him denigrating black women for stealing jobs from white people to fucking making jokes about how it's great that Muslims were getting murdered in the Middle East. Like, the idea that he was just like a podcast bro. What the fuck? In what fucking world?
His core ideology and what he believed is the same shit like your conservative boomer uncle on Facebook.
What a strange fucking comparison to make. Same thing that your conservative boomer uncle on Facebook. That is like a stereotype of somebody who's so extreme you won't interact with them. Like when people are like, yeah, no, my fucking crazy uncle. The one that nobody invites to Thanksgiving anymore because he just can't stop talking about politics. He has to make everything about fucking Trump.
You can only disagree with this if you are unfamiliar with Charlie Kirk, or you are unfamiliar with the many different branches and different ideologies of the right wing. Now, don't get me wrong, Charlie Kirk had many bad takes over the years. Like, for example, the two most popular quotes I see people posting are the one where he advocated for stoning gays and black women are too stupid to be pilots.
Or how about the one where he was talking about how the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? He has went on record calling Martin Luther King a like evil communist and shit.
But guess what? Both those things, the two most popular quotes people are posting to justify this guy being murdered, are out of context. But idiots like Stephen King ran with it, then later had to apologize for spreading misinformation about a dead man. These people will build a straw man of you in their minds. They get so...
Are you gonna show the full context of those things, or are you just going to parrot the conservative talking point that they're out of context? So when you actually look up the context, some of that shit's even worse. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. What's the additional context for that? That makes that okay. What is the additional context that you could possibly apply? Prowling blacks go around for fun to target white people. That's a fact. It's happening more and more. Ooh, yeah, definitely not a racist here. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder if she's there because of her excellence or is she there because of affirmative action? Here we go. This is the one that people say, well, this is taken out of context, except here's the actual more full version of the quote. Because here's the part people go, you have to do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's saw to be taken somewhat seriously. And people are like, no, that's out of context. You got to read the full quote. The full quote is, if we have said that If we would have said that Joy Reid, Michelle Obama, and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called racist. Now they're coming out and saying it for us. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Okay, so that's still racist and bad. That is still, in fact, you're adding an extra thing. Like, you're adding extra context of targeting specific black women, saying that they do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously. The Great Replacement Strategy, which is well underway every single day in our southern border, is a strategy to replace white rural America with something different. As a racist conspiracy theory with no basis in fact, but he's just repeating it. Dedicated Islamic areas are a threat to America. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. So this is your guy, Shoe. All right, sure.
Even if everything was in context, who cares? Oh, he said this. Oh, he said this. I don't care. There are many things he said that I disagree.
Okay, so we were just talking about how I love the goalpost being moved here already. The idea of, well, he's not actually that bad. He's just like a regular dude. But even if he wasn't, so what? Who cares? Well, I feel like we should have been debating from that point to begin with, Shoe. It kind of seems like you're just trying to launder his reputation by moving the goalpost.
Who cares? It is just a fact that nothing he said warranted his life being taken away. This is America.
Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that. That doesn't mean that people have to fawn over his death or his artistic legacy as a debater or a podcaster. Nobody has to suddenly retroactively like him or the things he says.
We have freedom of speech here, unless you criticize a certain country, but for the most part, we have freedom of speech here. So after detaining not just one wrong guy, but two wrong guys, the FBI finally got the shooter. Only because his own father turned him in. I guess they were just too fucking busy not releasing the Epstein files to catch a political assassin. It was this f***ass demon, Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, another irony-poisoned Reddit shooter who wrote a bunch of memes on the bullets, including "Hey fascist catch" and
"Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this question mark?"
I fucking hate it here. A lot of people were saying that the shooter was a groiper, which is a...
That's so fucking annoying that she let that joke flop. That's one of my favorite clips in modern times, honestly. The video of him, the cop reading "Notices bulges OWO," and then the clip of him saying, fucking, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
If you read this, you are gay, LMAO.
That's just good, clean fun right there. Yeah, it's up there with wet-ass P-word.
The streamer Nick Fuentes, and I have no fucking idea where that came from. I'm gonna be so honest.
What do you know, June? What do you know? What? Okay, first off, again, a lot of subtle language here. Calling Nick Fuentes just a streamer and saying that groypers are just fans of his is a fucking wild misrepresentation. That's like straight up lying by omission. That's insane to me.
Someone further right than Charlie Kirk wouldn't call Charlie Kirk a fascist, and they wouldn't say he...
Does she not even know? She spent hours crashing out on Twitter. In none of that time did she see the very obvious news breaking that the etchings scrawled on the bullet casings were from Helldivers and video games? Like, she got enough to call him an epic fucking Reddit meme lord, but not that it was a Helldivers reference?
Where did the Pepe even come from? Just a bunch of liberal boomers not understanding memes. The other thing I saw was the shooter had...
Bold fucking take. Bold fucking take for somebody who just completely misrepresented what some of those memes were. That's A+ detective work there. Jesus fucking Christ.
Republican parents, and therefore the shooter must be Republican, which is just funny because we all see what these people say about their Republican parents every Thanksgiving. But I guess we'll see. It's September 14th when I am recording this, so maybe more things will come out. Editor Shoe here, more things came out. Definitely not a groyper. At the end of the day, he could have every single one of my or your opinions. It ultimately doesn't matter. One person may have pulled the trigger, but then we saw the reaction of many.
We think that...
Is she really fucking saying this? She's going to be blaming dancing TikTok libs for the death of Charlie Kirk. That like, oh, this is my why I left the left moment. Pay no attention to the fact that apparently I'm just chill. I just think Nick Fuentes is just a streamer. He's just a streamer. Just a regular dude. Nothing weird to look into there. Yeah, also, these right-wing hacks have celebrated George Floyd's death. The amount of fucking... Yeah, why don't you look at the... Let's take a walk down the TikTok lane of, like, how many of these fuckers joked about George Floyd. How many Steven Crowders were out there making George Floyd reenactments and jokes and japes. How many George Floyd memes have been thrown around, weaponized towards black people? That one didn't really get you. That one didn't really get you. I wonder why.
This wasn't just a bunch of fringe blue hair SJWs or whatever. They were teachers, professors, doctors, HR workers, healthcare workers.
Okay, what does that tell you? Again, really think about what you're saying. How many people going about their day that are not crazy radical leftist SJWs? How many people going about their day heard this flagrant racist, which again, you kind of totally skated over the quotes. You didn't really give the full context of those quotes. I'm willing to bet you didn't give the full context because like when I showed those quotes, kind of still looked pretty bad. Kind of still looked pretty bad. Yeah. But these people knew that, especially if they're in communities of people of color, of marginalized identities. They knew who he was. They knew the hatred he spread. They probably had family members who had been radicalized down pipelines, starting with shit like Charlie Kirk. And we can't possibly think for a moment about, like, why these people who go about normal, productive lives contributing to society might want to enact their freedom of speech to be like, damn, sucks for him. But no, we have to cry for the podcaster.
People's classmates, roommates, they are teachers showing our children the gory, horrifying video of Charlie.
So I will say that's fucked up. I do not know. The Toronto School Board allegation that an elementary school teacher forced his class of 10-year-olds to watch footage of Charlie Kirk's murder repeatedly. That is fucked up. There's straight up no excuse for that. But at the same time, what website is this? By Raw Egg Nationalist? Do y'all... Can somebody find me the fucking website that is? Because she's not showing it. But I'm willing to bet between the dropship body pills and the Raw Egg Nationalist. You found the website? Oh, interesting. Charles Cornish Dale, better known by his online alias, Raw Egg Nationalist, is a British far-right influencer and conspiracy theorist. This is who Shoe is getting her sources from. You know, I'm starting to kind of pick up a trend with the sources that she's getting her info from and the things that she's willfully leaving out and the people she's taking sympathy on and the people she's depicting as just like normal like streamers and stuff. It sure seems, now far be it for me to say, sure seems like there's an ideological agenda to all this shit. No. No fucking shot. No fucking shot, dude. No fucking shot, man. Your source is fucking InfoWars, dude? But no, you're good. Oh yeah, you know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, here's the thing. If her source is InfoWars, there is a high chance the reason that she is saying, well, Nick Fuentes is a streamer is because Nick Fuentes has been streaming with Alex. Where Alex has been laundering the little Nazi twerp's fucking reputation to his audience, trying to capitalize on Nick's Groyper popularity. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Okay, Shoe. Shoe might try and use this as a, like, oh, this is why I'm turning more conservative. I've seen what makes you people cheer. Yeah, funny. Interesting how she cropped this out. Let's run up a tally here. She cropped InfoWars out, probably knowing that even though it was reported elsewhere, she can't really fucking show the InfoWars label, and it was just probably too lazy to fucking, crib it from the Post. She cropped InfoWars out, didn't show the full quotes that she said were out of context. It's like, well, then it's your job as the journalist, as the YouTuber, as the editor, to help your audience put it in context. Padded the video with 5 minutes of other people's content, and then just called Nick Fuentes a streamer. And then completely didn't even have any kind of knowledge about, like, the memes, and just immediately assumed they were lefty memes, even though they're from, like, video games like Helldivers. Racking them up. All right, Shoe. Let's keep it going. What else you got for me?
The hippy-dippy "in this house we believe" shitlib mask was ripped off, and underneath was nothing but psychopathic bloodlust. I have seen people on the right celebrate the death of people they disagree with. I've seen it. I remember Heather Heyer in 2017. But I also remember the whole internet, left and right, coming together to disavow and mock the few dozen people from Stormfront who were celebrating her death.
It was not fucking a few dozen people just from Stormfront. Okay, I wonder, is she going to bring up George Floyd? Do you think she brings up George Floyd? Do you think so? I kind of don't think so. Do you think she brings up the trans teenager who committed suicide while a bunch of people who are probably pretty chummy with her took to mocking immediately the same bridge, took to defacing the area where a kid killed herself? Do you think she's going to bring that up? Somehow I don't fucking think so.
This is different. It's never been like this before. It's never been this much. It's never been this brazen. Normal people have to log into, like, an alternate Twitter account where they can post their more unorthodox opinions. And these people are out here, full face, full name, like, hell yeah, murder. They will blame you for your death because words are violence. Words are violence, so them killing you is just self-defense. That's why they're using Kyle Rittenhouse as some kind of gotcha. Oh, if you don't condone political violence, why do you support Kyle Rittenhouse? They fundamentally don't see the difference between killing someone over speech and killing someone over self-defense, because these are the same things to them. Also, I'm going to be the one to point it out, because of course I am. I saw nobody else do it. Why are most of them women? Most of the people celebrating are women. Like, it's a good, like, 80-20 ratio all over the internet. What is going on, ladies? Basically, the whole country is shook because last year
Could it have anything to do with the fact that he supported an agenda that is dedicated to stripping women of their rights to self-determination and healthcare? Nah, that couldn't be it. No, he was just a podcaster. He just didn't do anything. He was also a multimillionaire who helped facilitate the re-election of an authoritarian piece of shit. But he was just a podcaster. Why would people be happy he died? He was just an integral part of the Trump propaganda machine that continued to proselytize to the youth. But he was just a small little guy. Why are you mad? Why are you mad at Charlie Kirk? He was a small bean. Also, yeah, disingenuous framing number 1,000 at this point, saying Kyle Rittenhouse was just acting in self-defense, when we know for a fact Kyle Rittenhouse had spoken about going to shoot protesters before even going there, crossed state lines illegally to go protect businesses, and then wildly shot multiple people. So, apparently June is just cool with that. Totally normal false equivalencies to make.
Realized how many people would celebrate the murder of a president, and this year they realized how many people would celebrate the murder of them. At the end of the day, this is all the inevitable conclusion.
That's not the same thing. Like, a random person dying and Charlie Kirk dying are not the same thing, June. Like, whatever you think about Charlie Kirk, I don't think it's probably healthy to celebrate somebody's death. Honestly. Unless it is a massive, monumental figure in a movement, which Charlie Kirk is not. And even then, that is upon, like, that is an ideologically contingent kind of celebration, right? That's going to, different strokes for different folks. Whatever. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. The point is, you gotta stop with this ooh-woo small bean shit. Like, he wasn't just a regular person. He wasn't just some random small town shit kicker. He wasn't from, like, fucking flyover town USA. He was Charlie Kirk. He's had a worldwide outpouring of support. You know who didn't, June? The children who were murdered the exact same day from gun violence in the country. They aren't getting their names played at fucking NFL stadiums. They aren't getting their special day of remembrance passed in legislature right now.
And they always say this dumb shit like, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, stop being a Nazi.
Do you hear that a lot, June? Do you hear that a lot? It seems like a couple people have sent it to you. Do you think that maybe there's a reason people keep saying that?
And I see a lot of progressives in my audience like, Shoe, you're not like Charlie Kirk. You're not a fascist. Here are all the things I have been called Nazi, fascist, reactionary for over the last few years. Would you like to...
Okay. This is one of the dumbest approaches anybody with any platform can take. I want to say that, completely irrespective of the rest of the video. Getting up on your own cross and being like, this is what people have said about me, is bitch-made, bottom-of-the-barrel behavior. When I've been criticized in the past, and I have been, I've been called a Zionist. I got called a Zionist shill, a genocide apologist for my video on the history of anti-Semitism, which, by the way, ends with me advocating for Palestine and Gaza and stopping the genocide. For that, for the ending part, because a lot of Jewish people or a lot of Zionists watched the video all the way up until the end and saw I was taking sides with the Palestinians, obviously. We're like, I can't believe you would side with Islamic terrorists. So I've been called both a Zionist and an Islamic terrorist sympathizer. I've been called, like, name a thing under the sun. I've been called it. I've been called, oh, yo, the spiciest meatball comes from anytime one of the church people will call me like a reprobate or a demon or an emissary of Satan or any of that shit. I don't think I've ever been called a Nazi. I think that's too far out of my wheelhouse. But I've been called a lot. I've been called a commie. I've been called a black-pilled lefty. I've been called a tanky. But you know what? You get to a point, and this is something that I can only imagine Shoe has to know. You get to a point being a public figure, and that's not to say that like I'm some big public figure. Shoe obviously has more clout, more of an audience than I ever will, very likely. But you get to a point in the public perception, in the public eye, where if you stand by your ideals, you have to accept that there are going to be people who approach you in bad faith no matter what. Even if they are ideologically on your side, even if they agree with you, some people will always just want to tear some shit down. Which is why you cannot count on their criticism to be emblematic of an entire group. You cannot take some people in your comment section being like, oh, you're a Nazi, and be like, all these people, they just hate me. They just call me a Nazi. Unless you are trying to somehow dissuade people from thinking you're a Nazi. Which I don't think you are here.
To to see? I have been making this list since 2023. Let's go. Let's just read this together real quick.
Mocking, criticizing pop feminism, believing adults. Okay, again, you're saying what you've been called a Nazi for, or a fascist, or a reactionary. This is your... I cannot trust you to bring up, like, not misrepresent what you've said. You just have a list of things that you are representing as entirely normal. I don't know what you actually fucking said, though. I straight up cannot trust this. And I also additionally cannot trust that you were actually called a fascist or reactionary or a Nazi or like whatever. I need actual like examples here, honey. But more important than that, girl, you've been doing this for 2 years. Why? Why? What would possess somebody to spend 2 years compiling an exhaustive list? What would compel somebody to do that if they were not doing it to performatively bring it out at such a time like this? Which brings into question again the whole original intent of the exercise. Kind of seems like you were just waiting to pull this out at some point. Yeah, no, like being, she made a poor me list. Straight up.
Not taking the COVID vaccine, criticizing the FBI, criticizing the CIA, believing the CIA killed JFK, using an American flag backdrop for my video.
So are we starting to see the, again, if this goes back 2 years, we're starting to see the underpinnings of where maybe she and the Shoe0nHead InfoWars Venn diagram kind of start to overlap?
Making jokes in general. Being cis, being white, being a woman, being a cis white woman.
There is no fuck. Okay. Again, what did you say that led to this? Because simply existing as a cis white woman, simply standing there doing nothing, being in the fucking Unity T pose, does not get you called any of these names, Shoe. Like, I don't fucking buy it. Like, I need a crumb of context.
Criticizing late-stage capitalism, criticizing the billionaire class, criticizing Israel, criticizing eating the bugs, criticizing a fashion company for...
Eating the bugs is actually another Nazi dog whistle. That is straight up InfoWars shit. You will eat the bugs. That's all Alex Jones shit. That's all anti-George Soros, big globalist Illuminati shill tech shit. Come on, dude. Come on, dude.
Supporting one-income households, supporting UBI, supporting farmers, supporting truckers.
Okay, so after spending 5 minutes
7th, supporting
doing
Palestine,
that, 11:30
not liking
to...
brutalism, saying colorblind anti-racism.
She then spends
good,
another like
date
3 minutes just doing this shit.
Now, I'm going to talk about my personal feelings of the situation because I know a lot of you can relate.
Oh, at less than 10 minutes left in the video, you're going to get to your personal feelings? What the fuck has this been?
I have friends who were friends with Charlie Kirk, but I didn't personally know him. We follow each other on Twitter. I've been to the TPUSA Amerifest in 2021. I actually went there planning to make a video making fun of it, but I had so much fun and met so many friends that I'm still friends with to this day.
I can't fucking believe she would give it up like this, dude. I had such a good time at the Hitler Youth Conference, and I made so many buddies. I was going there to make fun of it, but I immediately changed my ideological stance just because some people were nice to me. How fucking thin are you? Like, how your ideology is about as deep as a puddle. She's not actually that different than Destiny, because just flip a coin on any stance on anything. I guarantee she will take the side that has usually offended her the least. Or reactionarily will just oppositionally, defiantly take the side of something against somebody mad at her or something. Like, there's no actual fucking convictions here. There's no actual fucking beliefs outside of what makes her most comfortable.
I disagreed with him all the time. You can literally go to our Twitter interactions. I was always correcting him.
You're always correcting him by posting memes. Wow. This is heated, rigorous intellectual debate here. Just really, I could tell you absolutely were serious about your opposition to what he's saying. I disagreed with them. Great.
About, like, Bernie Sanders. I made an egg look like his face. It is safe to say I was no fan. But this has...
In what world? In what world is it safe to say you're not a fan of somebody where you go to their conference, don't make a video about it because you had such a great time and met so many great friends that you're still friends with? You're moots with them on Twitter, constantly reply to them with memes, and they follow you? Now, you don't need to be buddy-buddy having dinners and doing cookouts. But do not fucking bullshit me and be like, well, I rigorously oppose this. Fuck off. What?
Really shaken me in a way that I absolutely did not expect. These last few days after what happened, I kept going to every single, like, lefty, liberal, left-wing person I know and, like, checking out what they have been saying about this. And besides maybe, like, 4 or 5, every single one was being an unhinged psychopath about this. Or saying some backhanded shit like...
So, I can't help but notice. Because, chat, you know what? Shoe would probably be okay with this. As an InfoWars fan, you're probably a fan of noticers. You're probably, I'm just asking questions, okay? We're just asking questions here. We're just asking, I can't help but notice here. That it doesn't look like you're providing any sources on what you were saying. It seems you can spend several minutes of your video sourcing random 100-follower fucking TikTok accounts. But not the people that you're claiming were just these bloodthirsty, awful, vindictive leftists. That every single leftist you went to was just, oh, fucking terrible. I'm just, hey. I'm just asking questions, okay? I'm just asking questions. I'm just noticing.
Like, this is why we need gun control, which, first of all, we were just watching a whole bunch of people celebrate killing someone over political differences. You are never taking our guns now. That is not happening.
You are never taking our guns now. So, conservatives. That's just a tacit admission of being a conservative, being ideologically right-wing. She's saying you're never taking our guns. June, the reason people are saying that is because Charlie Kirk was on record saying mass shootings are like an okay price to pay. It's just an acceptable loss that we have to deal with, like Sandy Hook and multiple school shootings a year so that everybody has gun rights. And you're just like accepting that, even though it's literally what killed him. But no, yeah, we need to, like, that's an absolute fucking, like, Freudian slip, too. Because isn't the line supposed to be that, well, no, the guns are to protect us from tyranny. But here it's, oh, no, the ravenous leftists want it, so we got to kill them first, is kind of what I feel she's getting at.
All I know is it is clear how they reacted to this is how they would react to me, my family, my friends, you.
In what fucking world? In what fucking world? Yeah, no, making the murder of another dude all about you. In what world do you think Shoe0nHead, the YouTuber, has the clout or political capital or relevance of the leader of a multi-million-dollar organization like Turning Point US fucking A? You're not that special. I'm sorry, you're not. I say that as a YouTuber. Like, it's not that big of, like, it's not that deep, dog. How can I make this about me?
your family, your friends, that have ever stepped out of line from the nebulous, ever-changing definition of progressive. These are people I thought were level-headed. They were left-wing, but, you know, like, they were one of the good ones. Like, you can joke with them, you know, they weren't those, like, woke SJWs. Like, they were cool, we can disagree and still be friends. You know. Your friend.
Oh, please, please, please bring on the fake tears. Oh, that'll just be the little sprinkling of sugar on top. Yeah, I feel like as a queer trans leftist, the idea of, oh, we can disagree but we can still be friends kind of ended when the right made it their personal ideological mission to try and phase people like me out of society entirely. When you have major talking heads, people who Charlie Kirk was friends with, close with, amplified, agreed with, people like Matt Walsh and Haya Reichik saying that trans people basically need to be hunted down, that we all need to be institutionalized. We have people like Nancy Mace rallying around Charlie Kirk's banner, and she's saying that all trans people need to be locked up with a steel bit. Sorry, Shoe. I understand that you, as a upper middle class white woman, don't actually understand what that's like to be threatened in America, to have your entire existence defined like that. But it kind of lowers your potential friend pool. It kind of lowers the amount of people that you're willing to be like, he's just joshing. I can overlook that.
Friend wouldn't celebrate you being murdered, of course.
You're just making up a reason to cry.
An exact clone of you that wasn't you,
Charlie Kirk, you are not a clone of Charlie Kirk. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I'm speechless. I'm stunned. Give me the crying. Just get it over with. Come on.
had all the same opinions, or some of the opinions.
Yeah, walk that back.
They would
walk that back.
That clone being murdered. They're not your friend. I'm friends with people who are friends with Charlie, and I see how they are completely broken about this. Seeing them like this, and then at the same time my other friends posting shit like, "Rip bozo." It's just sick. It's just sick shit. Personally, I would...
Okay, again. The reaction to George Floyd. The reaction to Next Benedict. The reaction to, the trans kid who killed themselves recently. Or any of the trans people who've been killed. Brianna Jai? Do we want to talk about that? Because all of those people are still leveraged by people you fucking follow and apparently get your news from. Those memes are still in their fucking comment sections. Do you think their families and their friends are super chill about it? About this ideological mission that people like Charlie Kirk, who friends of friends are really broken up about, supported, encouraged, allowed to gestate to the form it's at now? See, this is what happens when somebody makes it all about them, June. You see what I've done here? You are making Charlie's death all about you, and now I am making your white woman tears all about me. Me. Because you, at a core level, do not understand why people think the way they do, why they have been drawn into this callousness. Because here's the thing, at a core level, I agree that it's the reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. I talked about this in the video I did. It's fucked up. Seeing so many people openly praising one of the most horrendous videos I've ever fucking seen. I've seen some live leak shit. It's right there with Bud Dwyer. It's fucking heinous. Heinous to see. And honestly, I can't imagine people who are actually friends with him. That would fuck me up too. Remove for a second the artifice of, yes, Kirk being a political commentator and all that shit. the edifice of Kirk being a political commentator. Somebody you know, if you saw somebody you know, you don't like him that much, die like that, your coworker, the one, you know the one that isn't like is usually a late when you really actually want to go and forgets to put the liners in the trash. The one you're like, he's fine. If you saw him die like that, you'd be fucked up. I don't begrudge anybody for being fucked up about it. But at the same time, you do not understand why people react like that to begin with. Why people felt vindicated or validated by seeing somebody who has only served to make marginalized people's lives worse through rampant propaganda get what so many felt was comeuppance that, especially right now, as they are bearing down and cracking down on free speech, doesn't seem like we're going to see a lot of. It doesn't seem like these motherfuckers get anything resembling consequences for actions that affect so many others in often violent ways.
You don't get it, do you? We are all Charlie Kirk. I have been doing this for 11 years. I have been harassed, doxxed, threatened, whatever.
God,
you name it,
dude.
For 11 years by the left. And it hasn't moved me an inch because that's not how politics works. That's lunch table politics. I've talked about this before. People on your side being mean to you doesn't mean you overnight change your opinions on, like, healthcare.
Apparently it does, because you have kept a dossier of, not specifically, but every time somebody said something mean to you, and you keep that real close to your heart, apparently.
I still have all my economic left opinions. I'm for strong social safety nets, workers' rights, unions, wealth caps, whatever. That has not changed. This is not me leaving the left because, frankly...
So, Shoe, if I'm cutting you off, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish. But if I'm hearing you correctly, you still believe in some social policies. You believe in, medical and economic social policies and safety nets that will help people and spur economic growth. But it sounds like you also believe in, and I hope she corrects me. I really do. Sounds like she also believes in nationalist policies. Things that are more geared towards traditional notions of the family and conservative values, upholding tradition, male role models. You might call yourself something of and maybe I'm wrong, but it kind of sounds like you identify with almost a specific kind of socialism, like a nationalisticism, a national, what would be a good way to put it? A national socialist? A national socialist. That kind of sounds what you're going for.
We fundamentally do not have the same values or morals. And are we really allies if we agree on, like, taxes, but don't agree on the sanctity of human life? I don't know. The way we view death now is...
Conservatives don't believe in the sanctity of human life. You cannot defend Charlie Kirk and the ideological mission of modern conservatism. Look at the extrajudicial murder of just random boats coming out of Venezuela. No proof that there's drugs on them. Look at the life-ruining shit ICE is doing, shipping people down to concentration camps in El Salvador. Look at everything being done to quell and suppress and crush people right now in America. And that's outside of all the capitalist shit. You cannot sit there and say that you believe in the sanctity of life when you support the ideological missions of people like Charlie Kirk. You fucking can't. You don't. You can't sit there and say, people, there's no sanctity of life. By the way, yeah, you're never taking our fucking guns over dead kids, fucking whatever.
The internet has turned real people into nothing but cartoon characters that disappear when you close an app. I remember for years people would be
Do not fucking get all video
you'll change your
essayist in the
mind
last
on
3
XYZ.
minutes.
And I was like, no. And they were right. Almost overnight, you stop being so selfish, nihilistic. You stop having utopian fantasies of wanting to live in a post-capitalist society. And all you want is for the world to be safe. For the world to be safe and normal. And all that matters is your family and your community. And then your country, and then the world. You know?
Dog, I can't fucking believe it. She did the nationalist shit. She's actually doing the nationalist stuff. You might say you want to secure a future for yourself and your children in a country that's where have I heard that before? It's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. Shoe, can't imagine why anybody would call you a Nazi. Cannot fucking imagine. Cannot imagine. Anyway, let's listen to you talk more about how you want socialism, but only some parts of it, but also nationalism, but only some parts of it. So you might like Oreo sandwich the two together. Jesus Christ, dude.
But we can't save the world. We can't. But you can save the people around you. Because they hate their lives. They hate their families. They are at a...
This is literally just verbatim the shit that Alex... She must be a real, actual viewer. Like, she must be a real fucking viewer, because this is the exact same demonic shit, like this like, dehumanizing of, like, they hate everything, and they just hate their lives, and these people are so miserable, and they drag everybody else down in the muck with them, and they want to kill you and kill your kids. That's the same shit that she's saying. You know what? Alex, fucking what's-his-face just left? Owen Schroyer just left? Alex, I got your new spokesperson. I got your new spokesperson right here.
Bug people. They are the unfortunate product of modern society.
Bug people, straight up.
I do. I pity them, and I wish I could help them.
Straight up. Bug people. Another straight up actual Nazi dog whistle, dude. Like, you know where I've heard people be called bug people? Only on, like, forums where people also talk about killing troons. Me. People also talking about doxing. Call each other the hard N-word. That's where I've only ever seen people referred to as bug people, June. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
But I have bugman fatigue. And for the people who will come at me in a blind rage with a list of all of Charlie Kirk's, like, biggest hits to convince me that I should hate him and should not mourn him. If you thought what Charlie Kirk said is wrong, you could have debated him. He was one of the few people left willing to do that.
Again, completely disingenuous bullshit framing that she's buying into from the right. It's been proven and shown plenty times now how Charlie Kirk just really liked to, and it was more his editing team, really liked to selectively edit around when people would actually own him to make him look good, which it shouldn't, like, that feels like common fucking sense. Like, if you think these liberal getting owned compilations where these 10-minute conversations are truncated down to 30-second clips of him being like, well, actually, no, you don't know that because you're a dumbass lib. It's like, come on, use your fucking brain. Think for a second here.
I just hope for the sake of this country that political violence does not become normalized, does not become a thing.
It already
is. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see retaliation. I don't want to see us fall into a civil war. I don't know. This has all been extremely blackpilling. I think I'm going to...
No, it hasn't. No, it fucking hasn't. You were popping black pills on doctor's orders for years before this. Don't fucking act like this is the first time you've been citing InfoWars, dude.
My purpose here is to entertain, is to make people laugh. That is...
You've failed spectacularly. And more so than anything, because outside of revealing your clear ideological bias that you approach this entire everything from, this really shows how little you seem to know or understand. And at this point, I can't even tell if it's just willfully leaving out important facts and data, but how little you understand about the current landscape, the current makeup of politics in America. You really don't seem to understand anything. about how this movement will be used, about how political violence is already normalized. It's already here. Joking about it is already here and has been for a while. But those were memes about people you didn't know, Shoe. Those were probably memes that you just saw passed around, ha ha, hee hee. Look at this George Floyd one. Look at this one with the trans suicide. I know in your circles you had to have seen them. Look at all the other shit you're saying. I know you had to have. But they didn't affect you because you felt insulated and protected from them. And now, here's what we're really getting at. The core of why so many people in the conservative movement have been shaken to their core by Charlie Kirk. Or more importantly, the reaction to his death. Is because they got a whiff, they got a little taste of the disdain that marginalized groups go through daily. That trans people, people of color, queer people, immigrants have to go through because of the targeting of people like Charlie Kirk. They felt for a second the fear, the hollowing dread that a trans person feels when they see another joke being made about a suicide, wondering if it might be them. That a black person, I can only assume, must feel when they see another joke about a body cam shooting or Trayvon Martin, wondering, what would happen if that was me? They felt it one time, and it's enough to fucking black pill them? No. You are already in this corner. You've put yourself here. And you're just now realizing how far you've backed yourself into it.